and welcome to game number 1 for today's Genesis squad scrims. We are starting off in Vikendi with the match starting in 40 seconds time. So as always, sit back, relax and enjoy. And with a flight path starting in the northern part of the map, heading right down to the southeastern parts, beginning at Port and going to Hot Springs and Cantra, we see teams 24 RPG, Zen and Riot jump early, heading to the western side towards Krichas and Dobromesto, with teams 23 Pen, 17 NH, 19 NH and 3 Gen Darshan dropping later, with Gen going to the eastern side towards Cosmodrome. We are now seeing the Riot teams and the other Gen teams jumping, heading to the western side towards Mavatra and Dilo Park, with a few teams jumping at right at the end to go towards Volnova and Winery. Now let's jump straight over to Team 21 at the moment, with Leroy, Orphic and Lorianne, as they are with teams number 9, Lionheart, who are just across inside the other buildings at the moment. They are not interacting just yet. There is always time, and there we go. The shots are now being fired. Let's just ensure we have our trails ready. Let's go straight to bird's eye view with DMS Wolf rotating around the right hand side, possibly coming into contact with Lorianne very shortly. We have Orphic moving around too, so we are starting off with a small 2-1 split, leaving Leroy on the top floor of the building to take on Proxy and Matt. And that is the first grenade thrown, but unfortunately nobody is there to receive it, as the team from number 9 just close in and come together once more, as the players from team 21 are grouped together also on the left side. And there is a beautifully thrown grenade right through that window there, but unfortunately it just goes down the stairs, and it is a smoke, so won't be doing a great deal of damage today. And Matt has just been taken down on Lionheart by Orphic there, with DMS Wolf going in for the revive. We see Phil on the left hand side take down Riot Wizard, as Team 21 now make a push. That is Proxy taken down, and DMS Wolf now comes in, knocking Lorianne, and Leroy is now knocked, with Orphic taken down. Matt again, and gets the kill on DMS Wolf, and is now going to try and revive his teammates. Brilliant play from Team 21 as they take down team number 9. But let's now jump over to NH, who are taking on Sons of Odin. Team 15 go up against Team 17. And we are now seeing Team 15 retreat slightly. They will need to be careful, as we have just seen that Team 7 are on their left-hand side there. And after losing one of their members incredibly early on, they are not wanting to take any risks at the moment. But we are now seeing the Riot team going up against Zen at the moment, with Riot Wizard taking down Zen Fault, as Team 6 take on Team 10. And Riot Wizard has just managed to take down Zen Queen, with Riot Ghost now rotating around the left-hand side. And that is all members of the Zen team taken down, with Riot Formort being revived by Riot Wizard there. So for the moment, let's leave the Riot team to recover and go straight over to Team 11, who are about to come into contact with Team 5. And Zen Naughty has just taken down a Riot member there. And that is a kill for Zen Naughty, taking out one of the Riot members, with Gavster and Sweet still going strong for the moment. We see that Gavster is inside at the moment, with Zen Venom and Missy just getting a little height. Gavster has just thrown a molly with a grenade going through, also almost managing to take out Zen Missy. And a grenade has just been thrown, a molly has just been thrown by Zen Missy into the wrong building. And again, we are seeing another 2-1 split here, with Sweet taking down Zen Missy on the top floor, with Venom and Naughty going to provide a little more support, with Naughty returning fire as Sweet and Gavster remain in the top floor of this house here. Now, I think this situation is where a 2-2 split might be quite helpful, which is what they seem to be doing at the moment. We're seeing Gavstar get a far right rotation at the moment, trying to take them from surprise from an alternative angle. The issue with the way they're positioned at the moment, by leaving such a big gap between them, it's just going to be a tit-for-tat fight. But they now seem to be moving positions, trying to get an alternative view on this. And this is where they could start really getting those knocks and those kills. And we're seeing that Legolas and RPG Lola get a knock and a kill on Riot Ghost at the moment. So I think what we will do is leave team number 11 and 5 at the moment and go straight over to team 10, who are going up against team 24, and we join where Riot Formal has just taken down RPG Daryl with a knock. And Riot Wizard has just taken down Legolas at the moment, so it's now a 2v3 match. We have more grenades being thrown by both teams, with Formal just getting the right rotation there, with shots being returned by RPG Daryl. And Formal is still trying to get the right view at the moment, with RPG Lola now trying to get a far right rotation, with Python being taken down by a Wizard and a Car 98, and Formal is knocked and might just be taken out any moment now, with Daryl moving around, and Daryl is taken down, but unfortunately so is Formal, with RPG Lola moving around to the right hand side of the wall. Wizard knows exactly where Lola is, and a molly is thrown, but just miss. And a brilliant shot from Wizard as Lola goes down. And that is 8 kills for the Riot team at the moment, but unfortunately at the cost of 2 of their players. But we are now seeing the DH team wiped out by Pen, as Team 8 is taken down in its entirety. But let's go straight over to Jen Badman, who has just taken down a member of Team 22, but is then knocked himself. And Jen Chris has now managed to knock Sons of Odin PQB on the left hand side, as a smoke is thrown by Susan Jacqueline to get the revive. And Darksea has just got another knock, as Damo and Chezak are down for the Gen team at the moment. Trying to make a push, and Jen Badman goes down, and Susan Jacqueline is taken down shortly after. So that is a squad wipe for Fusion Elite, and they now have 4 kills. And now let's take our first look at the map for today, as Gem Rolls gets a knock on Pen Devious. So let's jump straight over there to have a quick look. And we see that Team 23 are taking on Team number 3. And they are outside of zone at the moment, so as well as having to go up against Team 3, the Gen team, they are also having to go up against the blue zone. Darshan is knocked, but Pen Cons gets the kill. So we're now looking at Gen Spook and Gen Rolls, as the blue zone now meets Pen Cons, with Sons of Odin at PQB getting a knock on Gen Temp on the left hand side, and Gen Fitzy knocking and killing Sons of Odin Tiger. So let's jump over to the Sons of Odin team, Team 16, as they go up against Team 2. And Riot Gavstar gets a knock on Bailey on the left hand side, as Moonin gets taken down by Jen Chris, And Riot Gavstar gets a knock on Zen Naughty, with Zen Venom taking down and killing Riot Sweet, and a grenade being thrown in by the Gen team. And Gen Nick takes down Deadpool, leaving Sons of Odin, PKB, the last standing member of Team 16. And that is it, with Peaky being finished off there by Gen Chris. Now, as we go back to the map, we see that the zone is pushing towards the western side of this map, where we have parts of the coastal region still in play. So some teams may want to take advantage of that, acting as a good hiding place for them, just to keep an eye out, watch the other teams, watch what they do, and gatekeep some of them if they can. We have Team 7 who are inside zone, just inside the line, and they will want to try and gatekeep. Team 19 coming in from the Villa side, and Team 3 and 23 coming in from Goroka. We are looking at Team 2 at the moment, who are on the coastal region of the Kendi, after having just taken out Sons of Odin. And they will want to be wary of the fact that Team 25 are in their northern direction, along with Team 18 to the east. And they could be getting pushed very shortly, with Team 3 driving straight for Team 15. And we are watching the NH team, Team 18, go up against Sons of Odin. Team 15 at the moment, with one of their members not, with Sons of Odin providing continuous fire against them, putting immense pressure on them at the moment as they try and get that teammate revived. As we can see by looking at the map, both teams are in zone at the moment, so they have that freedom to really think about the next point of play for them and their strategy and where they want to go. So with such a huge amount of space between them, Team 18 may choose to rotate or try to rotate, possibly looking at another 2-2 split here, as they try and get different vantage points and different points of fire against Sons of Odin to really put the pressure on and to hopefully make them slip up. And we see Good Guy Argon taking down NH Propane, with Blaze getting a knock on NH Vixen there, with Blaze getting the kill on the left-hand side. We are now seeing that Team 18 NH start to move slightly to the right-hand side, being watched by Venus at the moment, as they now start moving forward in vehicles. And NH Adam takes down Zenon on the left-hand side. And we are now seeing that huge rotation from Team 18 as they try and get around the other side of Sons of Odin, putting a little bit of pressure on them, as they won't really be able to see where they're going at the moment. They know that a team is nearby, so they'll always be in the back of their mind, possibly distracting them from any other team that may want to come that way. So this could be... we could be heading in the direction of a third-party situation at the moment. And we are still seeing the Blaze team go up against NH. And Jacko is now in a jeep, moving around the left-hand side, possibly going towards this drop. And he has just arrived and is taking the loot. It doesn't look as though there are many teams nearby. We have Salty Snake up towards southwest, but they have chosen not to shoot at the moment. And we now see Jacko returning to the team. And as this compound is inside the zone, what this team will want to do is hold this compound and gatekeep any other teams from getting in. But as we can now see, the zone has changed and this compound is now just on the outside of the zone. So Sons of Odin will need to make a move very, very shortly. But we are now seeing Salty Snakes go up against the Gen team there, with the play zone now coming into play. And Salty Snake, Fuji has just got a knock on the Gen team there. So let's jump straight over as we see that Team 25 have just got a squad wipe there. So they now go up to 4 kills, again with the blue zone just pushing over them. And it is taking a lot more damage this time around due to it being one of the later zones. And they have around 400 meters to go, so they will really want to make a move. If they had a vehicle, it would be a really good idea to use it at this point. But again, we could see that I Am Game could get knocked very shortly, and Avery. But luckily they do have that vehicle, so they will get into that and go very, very shortly. And here we now go. And they have just about made it in, but are now being shot at by Team 15. And unfortunately, Fuji manages to knock himself by crashing into a tree and is then taken out by Team 18 NH. And Gen are now going up against Sons of Odin, knocking one of their members, but is soon finished off by Sons of Odin Jacko. And NH Big Steve takes down Lorian on the left-hand side with the G36, a great little weapon to have on Vikendi. It is what I would call Vikendi's version of an M4. And the Zen team are now gatekeeping this drop at the moment. And we have Team 22 heading towards it, with Darksea knocking NH Flareon there. And Zen Naughty takes down Pen Cons at the moment, as Team 23 now go up against Team number 5, with FE Darksea getting 2 knocks there on Loroid, managing to get the finish. And a VA Orphic goes down due to FE Darksea 2, and Pen Raza now gets the knock on the Zen team, with Zen Naughty down at the moment. And Zen Missy is just using a first aid kit at the moment as the play zone continues to take down members. And the one thing to know about the play zone, it is not there to make friends. So if you see that blue zone coming, just run as fast as you can. Make sure you're in front of it. Obviously, sometimes a blue zone can be a great little handy helper. If you stay behind in the blue zone in the early stages, you can just stay out of the way of any gunfights, any battles that you might not be prepared for. But in the later stages of the game, it will hurt. But that is just to keep the movement of the game flowing. You know, when teams are possibly not doing a lot, the blue zone can just come in, push them more into the middle, into each other, and keep that game flowing. So there is a reason for it. It's not handy, it's not helpful, it's not really wanted a lot of the time, but it is there for a reason, and it does its job. And we now see Bailey knocked, and it looks as though Missy will not be able to do much due to the zone, but gets knocked anyway by Pen Cons, leaving Zen Venom, the last standing member of Team 5, and is unfortunately taken down by Pen Razor Best there. And we are now looking at Riot Wizard, who is scoping in with a Car 98 and finds himself on the edge of zone at the moment, with the blue zone changing in 1 minute's time. We are 27 minutes in to game number 1, so we are near to the end. But with 8 players still remaining, there is still very much all to play for. And I'm expecting a lot more twists and turns to come through before the end of game 1. We are going to stick with Riot Wizard for now, as he rotates around the zone, tries to avoid the main gun battles that are going on at the moment. Could possibly be coming into contact with the Pen team, Team 23, in a moment. And this is where that sniper and scope will come in real handy. And by using those hilltops to the advantage, hopefully he won't have to undertake too much damage in order to get these knocks. And here we go, that scope and sniper are now being put to good use, with Wizard rotating around again, looking towards Team NH, Team 18, who are at the top of the hill at the moment. They have that height advantage, but the advantage for Riot Wizard is that he knows where they are. So he knows to be mindful of them if he tries to peek to get another team. And it looks as though they don't realise he's there at the moment, with more shots coming out. So for the moment, and he has been spotted, for that moment in time he was putting pressure on Team 18 with them not knowing exactly where he was. And Wizard is now using smokes to create a wall of fog, pretty much, for all the other teams, so that he can just move to the right, move out of harm's way to try and get a different rotation, a different view on the other teams, to hopefully keep going, to keep pushing forward. And unfortunately, he is spotted by NH Obelisk and is taken down. And that left us momentarily with our top 3. But then with Pencons being taken down, is NH the NH for the win in game 1. We're seeing a 2v1 situation with Obelisk and Nemesis going up against Flareon, with Nemesis on the left-hand side. And is knocked by Flareon, but Obelisk spotted him and gets the kill. So we see an NH win for game number 1, with NH and taking 10 kills, with another NH team in second taking 7. We have Pen in third, taking 11. We have Riot in 4th with 8. And we have FE in 5th with 7 kills. If you have enjoyed the stream, please follow the channel with new content added daily. We will be back in just a moment for game number 2. This is Genesis Squad Scrims. I am Ab Summer and we will be right back.